Can any of you answer this question? It is there in the paragraph. Yes? Yes, very good. Yes. So what about the four aspects of these tenses? Yes, very good. Excellent. And now I want another person to read the active and passive voice. I'm sure you are also familiar with these forms of the verb. Explain what is meant by active voice. Yes? What do you understand? Yeah? We have an action done by whom? The action is done by? Yes, very good. The subject, acts on the verb. So we have the boy hit the car. The cat ate the fish. People hate spiders. So we have the subject and the verb and the object. So it can be in any form. Now we have it in the past, can be in the present, in any form. That's the active voice. Now the passive. Can anyone read the passive? Let me as passive form. Active sentence. The boy hit the car, but here the car was hit by the boy. So the subject turned into an object, and the object becomes the subject. You see?
Yeah.
So who's doing the? What about the action? The verb acts on the subject. Because it is the subject is really the object. Did you get it?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much. I hope this is clear. If you have any question, just say it. You don't have to, to wait for me to give you permission. Just say it. Just talk. Now we have another paragraph about the tenses. So who wants to read? If you go to the second sentence, English has only two ways of forming a tense from the verb alone, the past and the present. Meaning what? When we use the past tense or the present tense, we don't have to have an auxiliary verb. We can, just use the verbs themselves. We don't have to add any helping verbs. So like we drove, we drive. We drove in the past, we drive in the present. So we can only change the verb by adding s. If we have the subject as it, he or she, we will have to add s in the present tense. But in the past tense, just the same. Just the same. You don't have to add anything. Just the past form. The auxiliary, we use the auxiliary with other, forms of the verb, like the continuous. We need verb to be. We have is, are, in the present, was, were, in the past, or do, or does, do for the, when we have plural, does when we have singular, and have and had and has. These are auxiliaries and modal rules. The modals are also auxiliary verbs like can, could, will, would, etc. These are called modals. They are auxiliary or helping verbs, are used with other forms other than past and present, like continuous, the perfect, the other forms of the verbs or the tenses. Now we need another person to read all in the future. So that's what's, why it is called simple. One action, single action. So we have three forms. We have the present simple or simple present, the same. We have present, past simple or simple past. We have future simple or simple future. So 3 forms of simple tense. Who wants to read the present simple? Do every day, or sometimes, or always, or often, or usually, or seldom, or never, or for the first time, or first and then. So something like a habit, something repeated. We repeat doing it, or we will never do it. That's something that's done every day. So it's in the present. You have to, use the present tense to talk about something that you either do every day or you never do. And we have many examples. The affirmative, form of this action. It's also the active voice. I drive home every day. You can say I never drive home, or which is something it's not right, of course. I sometimes drive home, or I always drive home. I'm using the adverbs that is used with the present simple. I seldom drive home, or I never drive home, or that's the way you see every day. It is put at the end of the sentence, while never or sometimes or always after the subject. In the negative form, because we have the verb drive. Of course, drive, you sometimes if the subject is he or she, we say she drives or he drives. So if we have I or you or we say we drive, I drive. So when in the negative form, when I want to negate this action, I say I use don't. I don't drive home every day. But if I use she drives, how can I negate she drives? Can anyone answer? She doesn't drive or he doesn't drive home every day. Interrogative, how do we make a question of this sentence? Of course, from the affirmative sentence, not the negative. How can we make a question? Also, we use the auxiliary or the model. Sorry, the auxiliary do. It's not model. Model can with. So we use the auxiliary verb do. Do you drive every day? So the auxiliary do, and then the subject, and then the verb, and never forget the question mark. It's always there. So do you drive every day? In the passive voice, if you remember, we have the object becoming the subject. So if I drive home, we can say, my car, of course, I drive by using my car. So my car is driven by me every day. I use the object, and the object becomes the subject. And then I use the verb to be. Verb to be is because my car, the pronoun it, I have to use is. If the subject is plural, then I will use are. So my car is driven. The past participle of the verb drive is driven. It's an irregular verb. I hope this is clear. So we move to, if you don't have a question, if you have a question, we can stay, but I'm sure you does. In the present, in the past, we use did.
Yes.
Yes. And when we have a question, we use did before the
In the
subject. Yeah.
And the question mark.
Yes, in the beginning. Yes. And the question mark, very good. Yes. And the passive form?
دكتورة السبجكت
Yes.
يلا لاحظ
Yes. The subject was the object of the act. Yes. Yes. And the verb to be, and then past participle of the verb. Yes. And you see the adverbs and time expressions all refer to the past. They all, last week, last year, any last time, any year in the past, yesterday. So all these expressions we can, write many pages last month, last week, last Sunday, last Monday, like these expressions are endless expressions referring to the past. So you can use any one of them. Yes. Do you have a question about simple past? Thank you, Sajjad. Great.
Okay.
Yes. Do you have any question? I'm sure it's very obvious. And then we move to future simple. Who wants to read? As you said, as you explained, uh, you said about the auxiliary will. Did you say something about will, the use of will?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's something that we refer to the future, like tomorrow or next week, next year, next month. Something that's,
It's far away, something like this.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. We can use shall also, not only will, I shall.
Alternative to will? Okay.
Yes. And the negative, the negative form of will, want, which is also irregular, and shan't for shall. While I'm going to or he's going to,
I'm not
we
going.
use, yes, we use not.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And interrogative, we use the auxiliary, at the beginning, and at the end, we use the question mark. While with the going to, we use verb to be. So it depends on the subject. If it's you,
Yeah.
we, they, we use are. So are you, are they, are we. With I, am I? Am I going to talk to him? In the passive form, we use will and then verb to be. We must add will. If you remember the rule of passive voice, we have the subject, which was the object of the active voice sentence, becoming the subject now, and then verb to be, and then the past participle of the verb. But now, because it is in the future, we have to use will before the verb to be. So he will be driven home by me. You can use by. You don't have to use it. Sometimes, most of the times we don't use by, but just it's because to show you the rule. Because by, after by, the pronoun was the subject of the active voice sentence. And as we said, just like in the past, we can use many adverbs. Instead of saying in the past last week, we can in the future say next week. Last time, last month, we say next month, next time. So we have so many adverbs we can use. Thank you, Atia. Very good. Thank you very much.
Well,
Now we move to continuous tenses. And we need actions. One was happening when another action finished. So we have two forms of verb tenses. We have continuous and simple past.
Like if we
Yes.
say when he knocked the door, I was calling someone.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. And when in the negative form,
I wasn't driving when he called, so
yes.
he's called. He's already done when he called, and
Yes.
I was driving or I wasn't driving. Something's still
Yes.
going up.
Yes.
Questioning, were you driving when I called?
Yes. We have
It's
the
the same
auxiliary.
thing. Same
Yes.
thing too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the auxiliary depends on if you see the negative form, I wasn't. We used was with I, but with you, we have to change it into were. So it's either was or were, depending on the subject. That's the auxiliary. And this because the rule we have to use verb to be, was or were, and then after it the verb has to take ing. And because we are using two actions, two verbs, so we have to connect them. So we either use when, while, all day in those days at that time. Also something that refers to the past. Very good. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
And I hope this is not boring. Is it boring? I think we are. With I, is with the he, she, it, are with the plural, and that's the auxiliary. It's verb to be, and then the verb has to have to have ing, just like in the past continuous. And instead of the past continuous, we use was and were. Here we use is, are, and the negative just we add not, and in the interrogative form we put verb to be at the beginning, which depends on the subject. If it's you or we or they, we use are. If it's I, we use am I. If it's plural, are you. So it's the same rule, but we change the verb to be. And we use the present. The future. Who wants to read? We use what auxiliary? The auxiliary verb?
The auxiliary here will be the will.
Yes.
So if we want to make it in a negative form, it would be a won't.
Yes, very good. And the question, the interrogative?
We'll get the will at the beginning of the sentence.
Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Excellent, Fatma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So as Fatma said, I think she did everything. Do you have a question? I think she explained it very well. Excellent. Great. So, perfect tenses. When we say perfect tenses, immediately remember the auxiliary. Which auxiliary? Yes, which auxiliary with perfect? Or had? Very good. Excellent. Was it Flayeh who spoke? Oh, sorry. I just want to make it smaller so you can see it. Yeah. Yeah, so now, okay. You can see it now. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes, very good. Yes. Yeah, very good. So we have to use, because it's a present perfect, we have to use either have or has, depending on the subject. If it's I, or they, or we use have. If it's she, he, it, has. And if we want to negate the sentence, we add not. And if we want to, make a question, we put the auxiliary at the beginning, just like all the other, tenses. And with perfect, we usually use already, yet, for, since. These are, the adverbs and the expressions that are normally used with perfect tenses. And then we move to the past perfect. Yes, who wants to read? In the negative, we use not. When the question,
usually comes with the past simple.
Yes.
So the past perfect and before past simple start.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. And the adverbs? We just with other, yes, with other perfect tenses, the same adverbs, already, yet, for, since, just, after, until, all these. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think this is the last one. So just I will make it smaller so that you can see it all. So, By the way, this is a summary. This is a shortened form of, the grammar of this unit. Two actions. So an action that happens over time in the future before another action is taking place. So we have, I will have been driving for 5 hours by the time I arrive. In the negative form, we use the negative form of will, which is want. In the question, we use will at the beginning, and then at the end, we use the question mark. And because it is about future, the adverbs, something that's happening in the future, referring to the future, but we can use by this year, meaning also it means something refers to the future. By this month, mean something that refers to the future. Next week, for an hour, for 5 years, by then, since morning, since night, because with perfect we usually use since and for, by tomorrow. So, do you have any question? This question for everybody. Formal language. We talked about the informal language, meaning the colloquial or the slang. The slang is the اللغة الدارجة, اللغة العامية, slang or colloquial language, the informal language. Meaning by the informal, it's more the spoken language rather than the written language. We don't follow the grammar. So in this unit, we will have examples of informal language, spoken, also written. But, I said it depends on the kind of writing, whether it's academic or it's to friends or family members. So to friends and family members, you can use informal language, written and spoken language. Compound words, words that are made of two words, like housewife. We have house and wife. Both of them refer to a woman who is married and has no job, a housewife. A compound word. We have social expressions. Also, we will refer to social expressions in this unit. The first exercise, I gave it to you as a homework. And do you want to go through it, or you were fine? We have verbs, sentences, and verbs, and then you have to choose from the box the adverbs or time expressions that go with the verb, with the tense. Maybe we can go through a few sentences, like my parents met in Paris. What kind of verb do we have here? What is the verb here? Yes? Anyone? Can you ask?
That's simple.
Yes, very good. Past simple. What is the present tense of the verb met? Very good. Meet. Yes. So we have past simple. So with past simple, what time expressions we use? Something in the past. Yes, for ages ago, or in a year in the past, like in if you can see in the box, we have in 1970s, in the 1970s. When we say in the 1970s, you see the S here, referring to the whole, the decade. 1970s, I mean, anytime in the 1970s, maybe in the 1978, 79, and 71. So in the 70s, in the whole decade. So in the past. So we can use these expressions that refer to the past. The second one, they travel abroad. The travel, which is what tense? Yes, very good. What expressions, time expressions. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. We can use these time expressions because normally we use the simple present to refer to what? Refer to something that we either do. Yeah, very good, very good. Excellent. Something that we do every day or frequently or sometimes, or we never do. Something either repeated or either never be done. So we use the simple present or present simple. They were working, number 3, they were working in Canada. Were working in Canada. So what's the tense? Past continuous, very good. Because we have verb to be in the past form, were, and a verb with ing. So what adverbs of time expressions we use with the past continuous? We have, yes, we have 2 verbs. Yes, very good, because we have to have 2 verbs, one in the continuous and the other one in the simple form or in the simple tense. So we can say they were working in Canada when I was born. So we have 2 verbs, 2 actions, one continuous and one in the simple form. Number 4, I was born in Montreal. This is, what kind of verb, tense is this? I was born in Montreal. It is in the past, but what is it, active or passive? Is it active or passive? Is it active? I was born. I was born. Born, verb to be plus past participle of the verb born. Born from what verb? Born. It's the past participle of what verb? Bear, bear. The past bore and the past participle born. Bear, to bear is to carry. But here it means to give birth. So I was given birth, so I was born, means somebody else gave birth to me. I was born by somebody else, my mother. So I didn't, I was not born by myself. So it's in the voice, in the passive voice. Yes. So what time expression we use? Yes. Yes. Very good. Or in the 1970s, anything that refers to the past. Yes. Very good. Very good. Number 5. My grandparents have lived in Ireland. Present perfect, because we have and the after have we have the past participle of the it's a rule that you should keep in mind. After have, had, has, always the verb in the form of past participle. This is a rule. While after to, after the models, well, could, we always have an infinitive in a verb without adding anything to it. Yes. So we have present perfect. What kind of expressions, time expressions we can choose to this sentence?
Since I was a child.
Very good, Fatma. Good. Yes, because we use with perfect. Remember, always we use since and for, or sometimes we use just or already. But here we can use for or since. Yes, very good, Fatma. Number 6. I wrote to my grandmother. The verb in what tense?
Past.
Yes, past. It is also a regular verb. It's from the verb write. So it's in the past. In the past, with time expressions, we use, yes, something, the expressions that refer to the past, like
The other day?
the other day, yeah, yes, the other day, yes, or in the ages ago, or during a snowstorm, or in the 1970s. All these, expressions that refer to the past. Very good. Number 7, I'm going to work in the US. What kind of verb? What tense?
Future tense.
Very good, Fatma. Very good, excellent. So it's I'm going to. It refers to the near future, but also it can be considered as present continuous. It's also a present continuous because the same rule. Because we have verb to be plus a verb with ing, so both of them are true. And in this way, we can use both adverbs that refer to the, to continuous tenses and to the future tenses. So, like what, Fatma? Can you give me an expression?
For a year.
In a year, later.
For a year.
Yes, in a fortnight's time. Do you know the meaning of fortnight?
4 times a week.
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Okay.
Yes, very good, Fatma. Thank you. Number 8, my brother's flying to Argentina on buses. Or on business, sorry. On business. What kind of verb?
Gonna.
Yes. Yes, Sam? Yes? Is it flying? You see the I.
Present continuous المفروض.
Yes,
Present
present continuous. Yes, Sam. Very good. Very good. So what adverb, what expression you can use with it?
اختار for a year.
For a year. Yeah. For a year is more with perfect tenses. Is more with perfect tenses, not with continuous. So why not of using tonight? Tonight also can be used. Or you can use, do we have now in the box? We don't have now. No, we don't have now. So we have tonight. We don't have any future expressions. Sorry, continuous expressions in the box. But tonight, it's also because the continuous also, has to do with near future. So it's tonight. Number 9, he's been learning Spanish. He's been learning this as...
Present perfect continuous.
Yes, very good. Yes, very good. And what expressions?
For ages.
For ages, yes, because perfect with perfect, it is perfect to use for and since. Yes, very good, Fatma.
And never.
Good.
He has never been.
He has never
Right,
been. Why not? Yes, why not? Yeah, very good. Excellent. We can use recently, for years, since I was a child. All these are true. Thank you. The last one. I'll see you. Future. It's the future simple. I will answer this. It's in the future. And you can use any
Tonight.
tonight, in a four nights time, later. All these are true. If we move to just, I know you are tired, but I just want you to listen to the answers of your homework. But before that, we have this this essay, it's not essay, it's a letter written by a kid to his parents. So we have informal language used here. So it's an example of an informal language. Maybe you're tired, I will read it for you. Hi mom, hi dad. Been here 2 days, but seems like forever. By the way, you see the forever, it's written in capital form. Just I want to warn you, never to use capital, to capitalize all the letters of a word. Not one word, if you use, if you send an email or a letter using all all the letters are capitalized, this is rude and considered impolite and as if you are shouting. So never, do it, especially in academia or, if you send a letter to a supervisor or in the future if you want to continue your studies. So just something to tell you about. But here, because he wants to express certain emotion, he's using, capitalized letters. It's a kind of boring, and I'm feeling very homesick. More homesick than last year, because at Pine Trees, we had more exciting stuff to do. Here we have an activity called extreme sun tanning, where we sit outside for 2 hours and do nothing. We also have an activity called sitting around playing cards. Last year, we did stuff like archery and mountain biking. I'm still hanging on there, though. I got to go to sleep now. We are making chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast tomorrow. Love you lots. Max, XXX, mean kisses, 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 kisses. PS, mean postscript. Something, if you want to write a note after the letter or after the email, you write PS, postscript after the email. Could you send me more money? Oh, and my cell phone. All the other kids have their cell phone. So the questions, before that, let's talk about the informal language, or maybe leave it to, I will give it to you as an example, as a homework, to tell me about the how this kid broke the rules of grammar. What the words that were missing here that he did not use. It's considered informal letter because of the use of certain expressions. So I will give it to you as a homework. But let's answer the questions concerning this letter. Who is writing? Who's writing?
Max is writing.
Yes, Fatma, great. Max is writing. Who to?
His parents.
His parents, very good. Where is he?
In summer camp.
Yes, very good. How did you know?
Well, you gave us another exercise where you wrote that.
I see.
Yes.
Very good, excellent. But you can know from the letter itself, because at the end of the letter it's something that is printed on the paper, Grove Hill Summer Camp. So you can know from the paper that the kid is using, it refers to the camp, to the summer camp. Yeah, but it's a good way to know. Very good, excellent, Fatma. What is he complaining about?
He's feeling bored and
No.
homesick.
Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Bored and homesick. Yeah. How old is he?
I'm guessing 15 to 16 years old.
Yeah, maybe less, maybe 10, 11. Yes, very good. Very good. Excellent. So the last thing, and then I will set you free. I gave it this exercise, the next one, as